Consistency, consistency. Who cares about consistency? Well, you do as a teacher, and we're going to talk about why. Hi, I'm Wanda Shields with 2Q Classrooms, and today we're going to talk about why it's important for teachers to be consistent. If you're new to my channel, this is my space for fellow teachers, homeschool moms, and or homeschool dads. So let's go ahead and talk about consistency. What is consistency? Consistency is doing the same thing, the same way, over and over again. It means that you are dependable. It means that I can count on you through thick and thin. Well, really, I'm being silly. But it does mean that you are a person that does things the same way. Your students know that they can depend on you to be there for them. And it builds a sense of safety. It means doing the same thing the same way over and over again. So when they come into my room on Monday, and the routine is that they take their seats, get out their pencils, and begin working on their bell ringer. If it's on the board or even if it's on their computer, they know to do that because I'm taking roll. I'm doing those little tidying up activities that I need to do before we begin class. If I do it on Monday, I do it on Tuesday, I do it on Wednesday, I do it on Thursday, and yes, I do it on Friday unless it's a special occasion or a reason that we're not doing it. It means that my rules remain the same. If I punish little Johnny, I'm going to punish little Susie if they've done the same or if they've committed the same offense. It doesn't mean that I give little Susie a break because everybody knows little Susie is my favorite. So when you talk about being consistent, again, that means you're doing the same thing the same way. You're doing it over and over. And like I said, it builds a sense of safety and for your students, it also builds a sense of normalcy. You built in that routine. So that is what consistency is. So as an educator, how can you be consistent? So these are some things that you can do. Make sure that you have a set routine, a set norm. Make sure you have discussed the routine with your students, that you've discussed and gone over your rules and expectations, that they are posted somewhere visually. And what I like to do is I like to run a copy off that's written and give these to my students so they have absolutely no excuse or no reason to say that they didn't know. They did know because they have them. Another thing that you can do when you're trying to be consistent is to make sure that you have that you use rubrics, that you have a built-in accountability system to hold you accountable for being consistent. And again, this is probably off topic, chasing a rabbit, but there I sing in the church choir, and we had a piano player who would show up when he got ready. You know, we didn't know whether he was going to come that Sunday. We didn't know if he was not going to come that Sunday. We didn't know if he was going to come to choir rehearsal. We didn't know if he was going to be on time. We had no idea. He might tell us that we were going out to sing somewhere, that he was coming, and he wouldn't show up. And so we learned that he was not dependable because he was not consistent. He did not consistently show up like he was supposed to. So that was a problem for us, and needless to say, eventually we had to let him go. Like I'm frozen, we had to just let it go. So when you're being a teacher, it is so important that you are consistent so you know what you're doing and your students know what you're doing. That also creates a sense of calm and peace for you because you know what to do. You have that routine built in, you know what to expect. And the biggest plus of all, if you are not at school that day, then your sub is not having a problem. Everyone knows what to do, whether you are there or not. And I have to use this other story. I have to tell you this. So at the school that I'm at now, the kids get dropped off. And a lot of times the teacher may not be in the room. They can't come in until the teacher opens the door and she comes out. You know, she looks in. Come in. The doors aren't really locked. Most of them are not. But the students know to stand outside and wait on the teacher to come open the door. And so I came through one morning and I was cutting through a teacher's room. Sad to say, but true. So I was cutting to her room to get to another room. You'd have to know the structure of the building. But anyway, there were two little girls already inside the classroom. And I said, what are you girls doing here? Because again, the norm, the expectation is that you stand outside. And they were taking the chairs and they said, we're setting the room up. Their teacher wasn't in the room yet, but they really were. They were taking the chairs down. They were getting everything done. They said, we have to set the chairs up. We have to get the breakfast out. Of course, this is probably an assigned duty, but they knew what to do even if their teacher wasn't in the room. They weren't being noisy. They weren't being chaotic. They were going about their daily routine. So you see how easily that class flowed, whether the teacher was there or not. When you have in a built routine, when you're consistent, that helps to make your class run more smoothly, that helps to give your students a sense of safety and a sense of purpose. Again, this was Wanda Shields with 2Q Classrooms, talking about why it is important to be consistent as a teacher. Be sure to give this video a like, a thumbs up. Be sure to follow and to subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video.